Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and...
Because it's not turned on. And
now you can talk. Now you can talk.
Hey.
All right, let's make sure we got it everywhere. Show.
Show.
There we go. Show. Now everybody can hear us.
There we go. Yeah,
Yep.
looks like they can hear us.
Show for Swag. Show for Michelle. Okay, there we go. Fan cave, cam. Show. Okay,
Nice.
here we go.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Veliknikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
well, I love this team. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why? Thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Now that the sound works and the show's on, we got more false starts around here than Austin Howard. Hey! Appreciate you all very, very much for joining us for this episode number 370 of Raiders Fan Radio. This is our first annual Draft for Dummies show.
Fun.
And we're the three dummies. Because you guys know more about the draft than we do, probably. Because like we say around here, we like to talk about the Raiders that are, not the Raiders that aren't. And none of us knows who are the Raiders that are the Raiders that are going to be are.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Sure.
Yeah. We're about to find out who the Raiders that are will be.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to find out who the Raiders that are.
Yeah. Are.
But anyway, so all that said, I know I do enjoy the draft. It's a fun time of year, but the best part about the draft is the draft.
Yeah.
The lead time up to the draft, not so much. And we're going to get to it all tonight here. But anyways, we have a lot of fun with it. If you're looking for player breakdowns for people that the Raiders might take in the 6th round, probably not the show for you. But if you want to have a good time and sit around with a bunch of cool Raider fans and talk some shit and, you know what I mean, and yuck it up a little bit, then you're in the right spot. As we like to say, this show is a little bit of a dog whistle. Not everybody can hear it, and that's okay. We like it that way.
Yes.
So anyways, thank you to those of you, though, that do hear the dog whistle, and everybody that's joining us live tonight in the chat room, everybody that's at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, the best chat room there is in all of this Raider thing, if not all of sports. Appreciate you and appreciate everybody that's listening to the audio podcast. Appreciate our good friends out at Fansided for supporting us and having us be the official show of Just Blog Baby, as Jeff winks. He goes, yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. For now, they're very, very kind audio partner for us, but we're always open to opportunities.
Yes.
Because, hey, listen, this is a for nonprofit show. We are all about supporting our nonprofit.
It's all going to our nonprofit, man.
Nonprofit. So however we can make the most money to give to said nonprofit that supports Raiders-related charities, that's what we're going to do. And that foundation is called the One Nation Foundation. And so we take our advertising dollars and any of the kind support that Raider Nation shares with us, and that goes straight to Raiders-related charities. So thank you to those of you that are on the video podcast and again on the audio podcast. You can find us on any of your favorite audio podcast services like Apple and Google and Spotify. And as Michelle was telling us earlier today, now you can do video on Spotify. Yeah. So we might be able to do the video portion of this show on Spotify coming up. But thanks to all of you that listen that way and support Raiders Fan Radio that way. All right. Well, we got a lot to get to, and we got a lot of voicemails and emails to get to
sure
tonight.
Do, yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So without further ado, welcome my best friend and yours. He sits to the right of the poker table, and he is Swag Jeff. What up, Swaggo?
Let's go.
What are you doing there, pal?
Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at this $50 super chat that we just got from Yoshi.
Thank you, Yoshi.
Thank you, Yoshi. He says getting excited. Of course, he's talking about the draft or just in general.
Pause.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, but thanks for being excited, and thanks for that $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Pause.
Hey. Tell us about your life.
That's not the first time you said that to a guy.
Hey. Jeez. Asshole. And hey, Martin said he just ordered the shirt from the new store earlier. So we'll be talking.
Awesome. Thank you,
We'll
Martin.
be talking about our new storefront that we got for the One Nation Foundation. So and there's some amazing folks in the building here. Raider Dad just jumped in there. Speaking of the One Nation Foundation and all that.
And Josh, I've got your check going out. I apologize. I meant to send that out last week, and I got caught up and didn't run by our place, our little postal place. But it's going out tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah. So Raider Dad's in there. Sacktown Raider Mike, SoCal Sal, Johnny Kicknuts is in there.
I love that name. That's funny.
Paul is in there. Jordan
Sweep the nuts,
Ford.
Johnny.
Yeah, there you go. Sweep the nuts.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, you can sweep the leg.
Oh,
Karate
yeah,
Kid.
I know.
So sweep the nuts, Johnny.
Ow. Yikes. It's not the first time you said that to a guy.
To a guy named Johnny. Well, I didn't say sweep the nuts, Jeffrey. Because that would have been weird.
Yeah, because that would have been weird.
That would have been weird.
Oh my gosh, it might not have. It would have been less weird because how many Johnnies do you know?
Would
have been more.
One.
Oh, okay.
Like one, you worked with one.
Oh, well, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
He's not my type.
No, he's not. No, he's not. So so speaking of one that is our type and we love in this place is the one and only, the lovely Michelle Swag.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Woo-hoo. What's going on?
Not much.
Show is off to a rocky start at best.
I mean, you can tell that we took some time off because
All right.
we're all loopy because we're so excited to be back.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Bear with us.
So, hey, Michelle, here at the top of the show, I want to ask you to talk a little bit about this time of year because this is tough for you.
Oh, God, this is tough.
And I don't think you're alone in this. I think there are a lot of Raider fans. Talk about that.
Yeah, I have not listened to or watched a thing that has to do with the Raiders unless a TikTok pops up or something like that. I hate it because I hear so many people talking about, the Raiders are going to take this person. And then if I tap in and listen and then I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, they'll be great for the Raiders. And then the next thing you know, he's on another team and we don't get and that's player after player after player after player because you just have no idea who the Raiders are going to pick. I mean, none of us could pick and have picked the last few, draft picks that we've done. And so, yeah, this is it's a struggle for me to stay connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that's again why we call tonight Draft for Dummies. And that's why we're just going to have fun and talk a little bit about the draft, but not speculate on late round picks or anything like that. But we will have fun. And thank you, Michelle, for being here.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Raider Nation, so we kick off each and every show with our episode number. We always take our episode number and tie it to something significant within Raider Nation. And that duty goes to Swag Jeff. And so this is episode number 370.
Yes.
Damn, getting up there, man.
We're just getting up there. Yeah.
That means we're going to have 400.
Wow. Oh,
This year?
Maybe
400 will be this year. Wouldn't it be cool if it, well, it wouldn't be with the fannies. That would be cool if it tied in with the fannies. But maybe like our Super Bowl show.
Yeah.
Ooh. Would
Yeah,
it be
that would
like
be kinda
episode
cool.
400 or something? That'd be cool. Anyways, sorry.
Or we're covering the fact that the Raiders are in the Super Bowl for episode 400.
Come on.
Wouldn't that be cool? That's what the Raiders have been waiting on.
Our 400th show.
Our
That's what they've been
400th
waiting
All they've been
for.
waiting for.
Just be like, hurry up, Raiders Fan Radio. Get it sped up.
Come
there.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But we got 30 more to go.
we got 30 more to go. So this is episode 370. So like Murph said, so each and every week, if you're new here, I take a significant moment.
Hey.
A significant moment within Raider Nation related back to
Blame
the
the
episode
Modelo.
number. Yeah. Shout out Modelo Oro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to watch my girlish figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So back in 2018, tight end Jared Cook was the go-to receiver and kind of like he was the high point of that team because there wasn't a whole lot. That was the 4-win team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't amazing, but Jared Cook was. He was
was
amazing.
awesome. Jared Cook
He
was
was
badass.
absolutely incredible. So the first 4 weeks of the season, Jared Cook caught 26 passes and a pair of touchdowns for 370 yards.
Nice.
There you go.
Love that.
Thank you, T-Hom, and thank you, Jared Cook.
I did like Jared Cook. I
too,
liked
man.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was great. And that was, so that was what? Andre Holmes was Crabtree, I want to say. Crabtree,
was
Andre
still there.
Holmes, and then Jared Cook. Yeah.
Yep.
That was pretty good receiving core there. Absolutely. What years were that? Can you look that up? What years Cook was there?
Sure.
Because then he went where? Like the Rams or something? I
Yeah,
want to
because
say.
he was drafted by Tennessee, right?
Yeah, he came from the Titans. Then he did a contract with us,
I
and
thought
then
he was on the Saints for a while too.
maybe he went to the
I think
Saints.
he went to the Saints too.
Is that where it was? He went to the Saints
Yeah.
after us. Okay. Yeah, because he would have been. I want to say, well, it had to have been 2016. He was there for that. So did he come in with Derek and Khalil and that whole crowd?
He might have had.
Yeah.
He might have had. Yeah, he was a 3rd round pick in the 2009 draft.
Yeah.
So we spent his rookie contract with the Titans.
Yeah.
And he also played for the Rams, the Packers, of course, the Raiders, the Saints, and the Chargers.
Okay, what are the years for the Raiders?
I'm looking at that right now. Just 2 seasons, 2017 or 2018.
Oh my gosh, it feels like it. Wow, I was way off.
Yeah.
Man, talk about getting stuff convoluted in your brain as you get older. You know what I mean? Like, I just start to like honestly, like when and I was thinking about this the other day when I think about like eras of the Raiders and eras of good teams and that kind of stuff. I just start to like it all blends together. It was easier for the older teams back in the 70s because those guys didn't go anywhere.
Right.
When you look at like the Soul Patrol, they played together for almost 9 total years.
Jeez.
2 of them played for 7, and then the others it was Willie and George Atkinson, I think. But anyways, they were together for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And then the others were there for 7. But anyways, it was like you're not going to forget that, you know. But
Right.
then you look at the teams of the latter part of the 80s. Then I think, again, it starts to get convoluted in my brain about how many of them were there for what. And, of course, the Super Bowls are ones that stick out. But those Super Bowl teams weren't necessarily all together. Because, like, Alzado came at, like, the end of his career when he became a Raider. You know what I mean? And then when you get to those teams, fast forward, and then you got the era of the 2000s, which can blend together, especially with the running backs. And you think about Wheatley and Crockett and Garner and like, you know what I mean? Getting to Kaufman and all, like all that starts to blend together. But then that era right there is a tough one for me because I always think of that 2016 team being before and after, but it wasn't.
No.
It was literally like a flash in the pan. Like it feels like all those guys would have played together for a period of time. They really didn't. Interesting stuff there, man. I don't, and maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. I don't know, but I'm curious like what the chat room would say on that. If those like, could you just be like automatically off the top of your head go, you know, this is when that player played, or this is when that player. Like I couldn't tell you the years for Crabtree. I could tell you the era, but I couldn't tell you the like his exact years coming from the Niners and then coming to
No, me neither.
yeah.
No.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so thank you, Jeff, for your 370.
No, you're welcome.
Good stuff.
You're
there.
welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you, T-Hom.
Thanks, T-Hom. Let's go ahead and hit some contact info, and then we're going to do some respect.
Woo!
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation. You got your old Uncle Mosh here. With
Everyone's giving you a hard time in the chat saying you're old.
Okay, that's fair.
So
fine.
sit up,
Yeah, I own that.
zip up,
Jordan
shut
Ford
up,
said,
and pay
Murf is
attention.
getting old. He told the story
You can
last
call
week.
us at 909-345-3346.
All right.
Or
He's
as
not
Murphy
wrong.
says,
Yeah.
909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at
Twitter
at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-tock. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh,
Man, that was a good one.
That was clean.
That was really
clean.
clean. Yeah.
That sounded like one voice.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Mary Kate and Ashley moment.
What was their little catchphrase? I should have hit you back with that, but I don't remember it.
Oh, I don't know.
What was there
Did
on,
they have
on
one?
Full House? Yeah, on Full House. They, what was it? They had a catchphrase. Oh, come on. Really? Why you guys look at me like that? Like I'm making this up.
You might be the only big Mary Kate and Ashley fan.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
in the
a
room.
Mary Kate and Ashley fan, but I watched my share of Full House when I was young.
Yeah, you did.
They had it was like a thing. They said darn you, cute kid. You know what I mean? Like whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was like that kind of a thing. It was like, no, you shut up. Kind of a. I can't.
I vaguely remember that they had a something.
They had a
Or
something in there.
I
I don't know why it just popped up. I keep thinking of Urkel ones, like, got any cheese?
Did I do that?
Did I do that? Yeah, it was
it's
one of those.
kind.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Well, hopefully the chat.
Yeah.
is
Bail
dialed
me
in.
out, chat. Yeah, because sit on it. Sit on it, Potsy.
You got it, dude. You
got
got
it, dude. That's it.
There you go.
See.
Thank you. Who said that? Jason Hunter.
See.
Mary Kate and Ashley fan radio.
Told you.
Murph's new tagline. You got it, dude. Thank you, Jason Hunter.
But make sure you add one of these things.
Up your nose
Yes,
with a rubber
please,
hose.
please.
Hey, if you know up your nose with a rubber hose, then you're definitely as old as I am.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh my God! Shout out Vinny Barbarino. Okay, so let's see. I got some respect to give here. So here at Raiders Fan Radio, we don't do props, we don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian. We like to give a little bit of respect.
Murf, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Oh, man. One of us can give you the roster of Welcome Back Cotter, but can't remember when Jared Cook played. Welcome to Sweat Hog.
So that's why.
Welcome to Sweat Hog Fan Radio. Oh, my gosh.
Thanks for getting that one, Michelle. Jeff's over there going, "What's a sweat hog?"
Yeah.
That's all good.
Anyway, so here at the top of the show, we like to give a little bit of respect. You guys want to go first? I usually go first. What do you got? Why don't you all go first? Go ahead,
Okay.
Swag. What do you got respect for?
Yeah, my respect goes to our new merch website.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so
Okay.
shout out. So T Public is now Dashery. So
Okay.
so much respect to the Dashery folks because we get bigger payouts when you buy a t-shirt, and that all of course goes to the One Nation Foundation. So they've revamped their stuff, so you can go to RaidersFanRadio.dashery.com, and that'll take you straight to our storefront right there, where most of our stuff is back up, because if you've been paying attention for a little while, we got C Indeed on some of our
Damn you, NFL.
The NFL took down a bunch of our stuff, including all of our stuff is original stuff, but like our Raiders Fan Radio logo shirts and the Murf's Fan Cave and Swag Jeff and Michelle. We're still waiting on Michelle's to come back up, and hers is the most original of all the logos, because it's literally
that one right there on the screen there for anybody watching.
Yeah. Well, or if you look right above her logo, that's the face. That's original. Yeah, it's your face.
Damn it.
So much respect to Dashery, because they have partnered up with the One Nation Foundation to help us grow. So yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, I don't have respect. I have a little bit of beef.
Oh,
Just a little bit.
Beef.
You got what?
I got beef.
Pour on the power, go for the glory. Story of what you're made of. Beef gives strength, it helps you do it. Beef gives strength, it helps you through it.
Beef in a balanced diet. It's one of the best sources of protein, iron, and B vitamins going for a whole new pride in strength.
Beef gives strength, helps keep you going. Beef gives strength from inside. Beef puts pride in our bodies. Beef gives strength.
All right, Michelle, who got beef
okay,
with?
so I have beef with, and it's not really beef. I feel like I'm an elder that sees that Raider Nation is losing the recipe a little bit, because on TikTok, I see a lot of younger Raiders fans, which shouts out, I'm really glad, but they're saying black and silver. And
oh gosh.
Yeah. And everyone in the comments is like, yeah, there's nothing like black and silver. And I'm like, oh no. And then I'm not commenting, one, because it's dangerous in the comment section. And I don't want to look like the old lady that's like, it's actually silver and black, because that feels, I don't know. It just feels weird. But every once in a while you'll see like
you can't
one
parent
person,
the world, as the kids say, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, so as elders, and I'm not saying like all of our listeners are older, but like we really that's something we have to
skew Gen X.
Yeah. We have to pass that down. Like, that's an important thing to know, that it's silver and black. It's not black and silver. And I understand that seems like it's splitting hairs a little bit, but it's not. Like,
tradition matters.
Tradition matters, and I'm seeing a lot of it. Like, it isn't just like a one-off. I'm seeing it all the time. And I'm glad that there's new Raiders fans, but their parents or their friends or whatever needs to be saying it's actually silver and black.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's the same people that say Raiders Nation. And I'm like,
don't
say that.
Me homicidal.
Yeah.
I didn't even love calling our show Raiders Fan.
Because
it's Raider fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But out of respect, there was an old Raider Fan Radio back in the day, back in the old days in Oakland, and I didn't want to bite that title, so but then they weren't around at the time, you know what I mean, when we did this, so I'm like, okay, we'll make it Raiders Fan. But even that, I'm not crazy about. It's grown on me.
Boy,
it's better than my gosh,
that one's rough.
So, and of course, and we talked about the other day, Anything Nation, which I love that they put it on the hat. Jeff's got the draft hat. Love it that they put that on the draft hat. There's only One Nation. It's like, hopefully people will start getting the message.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And this is the only draft hat that isn't just like Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh.
Or Nashville, Tennessee, or what? Like, it's the only one that has like a slogan. I think.
Well, you know why that's cool, and at least my opinion on it.
Okay.
Why I think that's badass is because that's the Raiders themselves recognizing that it's not Las Vegas, that it's not even just two other cities to go along with Las Vegas, being, Oakland or the Bay Area anyways, and then Los Angeles. It's literally global. Like, when you look around in our chat, I'm sure there's a couple Englishmen in there. There's probably some people in other parts of Europe as well. Probably, like when our buddy Ernesto is in there, when we have people that listen to this show, and you look at the heat map of this show.
Oh yeah.
We've been in, I haven't counted in a hot minute, but once upon a time it was over 80 countries that we've been listened to. And like, that's That's Raider Nation.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so I love that they didn't put the city on there.
Me
Yep.
too.
You know, I think that's badass.
Yeah.
And this is the second year in a row that they put like a cool Raider saying on the hat, because last year's draft hat it said once a Raider, always a Raider.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
right,
So I like that they're kind of going down that road. And
Right,
stuff like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, next year they need to do silver and black.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sending an email.
There you go. Yeah. I miss Silver and Black Attack. That was a go. Not just from the video, but like that goes back to like the 70s. That
Right,
goes back
yeah.
to like Kenny Stabler days and stuff, you
Yeah.
know? So, hey, shout out the chat room real quick before I give mine.
Absolutely. So it's the Slayer here is in the building. Martin, Chuck Raider, my 2 cents. Jordan Ford, Martin, Richard Hardy in there. Let's see, Paul in there. Pit Snipe Husker is in there. M85, Rogue Code. Let's see here. Ron the Materator in the building.
Ron.
Stacy Ruff, Jesus of Alum Rock is in there. Hassan Terrell is in there. Let's see here.
Hassan. You mean, is it Hassan?
I don't know.
Come on, Jeff.
Probably.
Hasson.
It's Hassan.
Sorry, Hassan. Yoshi in there. The main guy are in there. Mr. Wilson in there. Loki Raider
I'm
in there.
saving so many jokes that I'm going to throw your way and make fun of you after the show's over.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, no, you go.
Okay.
Now you go. Your turn.
Your turn.
Anyways, I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. Thank you very much. And so I want to give respect to a couple of different shows. Well, actually, a couple of different shows, and I want to give respect to the chat room. And the chat room always gets respect from us, no matter what.
Sure.
Each and every week. But
unless I mispronounce their names.
Mispronounce the name, but yeah, that's okay, Alzado. One of the things
Okay.
now
you've gone too
look
far.
what you did.
Okay. Where is that dip? Oh man. Oh, I gotta get better at where the buttons are up.
Okay.
But I want to give respect to the chat room because I loved the trend. Now listen, we're not shy about the fact that we raise money around here because it ain't for us. It's to give to Raiders related charities. So any avenue of revenue that we can find and tap into, we are willing to do it. We are willing to sell out. Like, all right, we are not shy to sell out. You want to buy us? Well, we can be bought.
We can.
And one of the ways that we can be bought is by you guys becoming members of the show.
Yeah.
And I loved the trend that's been going on with, instead of people just giving a direct donation, which we love and we love the super chats, but buying memberships for other people.
That's
That
really
is
cool.
so freaking cool, man. And so on the last rundown that I did, the selfie one, I was watching the chat room, just kind of reading through what people were saying and I figured out how you can do it, and it does just randomly assign it. You don't pick who you're giving memberships to, but if you buy 5 memberships, it'll just automatically assign it to 5 people in the chat that aren't members. It's really
That's
cool.
cool.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's way
it's a
cool.
really cool way to give to the show and then give to others as well at the same time to your fellow cohorts in the chat. So that was really, really bitching. So thank you guys for that. Then I want to thank the group of 5 guys, our buddy QB Jeff and the group of 5 guys who are absolutely killing it over there on their show. And this is their time to shine. I mean, they shine all the time, but but here draft, when they've got a guy like Ashton Genty, who's a group of 5 player at the top of the freaking draft boards, most everybody's draft board, like those guys were locked in, and they had me on the show the other night, and I had a blast hanging out with QB Jeff and his co-host, guy that anchors the show with them, Matt Sprouse.
Yeah.
Sprouse and Jeff, man, they are an absolute blast to hang out with. We had a lot of fun. Talked about not only the group of 5, but talked a ton about the Raiders. So if you want to hear the more meaty draft, in the weeds kind of draft analysis from guys that know it better than anybody, when you're talking the group of 5 schools, check out the last podcast that I did with them. Just search for group of 5 guys and you can find them. And it was fantastic. And so much respect to those guys. And then the last one I'll give you two before we hit a break and then we get to the draft is Silver and Black today. Scott hit me up this morning and asked if I had draft plans. And I said, no, we weren't going live or anything. And so he asked me to join him. And so I'll be joining Scott tomorrow live for at least the first half of the draft, probably.
cool.
And Kelly Kreiner's going to be there, and who's a draft expert. He'll be on. And then
he just asked when you were going to release your final mock draft.
Oh my God! Who, Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly in the chat. Yeah,
because he knows how much I love mock drafts. And how about as soon as the Browns and the Giants opened themselves up for trade, all those mock drafts went out the window. Congratulations, everybody that sunk their time and energy into building those damn things. And you know what else too about mock drafts? And I'm gonna say real fast, I promise, I'll get out of this. When you look at all the quote experts, and you look at Miche, and you look at Jeremiah, and you look at, they all have somebody different for the Raiders.
Yeah.
This goes back to your point.
Yeah.
They're all different. One of them's got, I'm going to butcher his name, but the Mambu, the guy that's the offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Then some people have Genty. Some people got Sanders. It's like all over the place. So it's like, how much is that really worth? It's someone's opinion, and it's no more valuable than your opinion, Raider Nation, for whatever you think. So those mock drafts, God forbid, please don't pay for them. There's some mock drafts behind paywalls and shit. I'm like, what are we doing?
That's wild.
It's wild. Like, don't, like, easy with the mock drafts. And I get, like, some fans just like to play with it.
Yeah.
It's like a game. And I get that.
Sorry.
No, I earned that one. But, like, if you're just, like, gamifying it for your own, goofing out, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing it for your own entertainment, I don't begrudge anybody for that. I'm not going to tell somebody, what to do with their free time. But for the people, for the pros that are putting out these things and then selling them as like, oh, this is the way the draft's going to go. Bullshit. You don't know nothing. And it never, how many times, here's the answer to the question right here. How many times have you seen an analyst post their mock draft after the draft and go, look, I nailed it.
That's what I'm going to do.
Right.
Yeah, right. There you go. That's what Michelle's going to do.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Like, Peter Schrager, like all these guys that are, and listen, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that they're not geniuses and brilliant when it comes to the draft. They know their shit, but they don't know how this thing's going to unfold.
They don't know that the Falcons are going to draft Michael Penix
Bingo.
last year.
That's
you know what
all
I mean?
it
And it just throws a wrench in the whole freaking thing.
One move, and it will always happen.
That's
always going to. Shit, now I'm hearing today that Shador could fall to the Steelers.
Oh.
At
Yeah, 21.
Oh.
That's what Schefter talked about.
See, this is when it starts to get so annoying.
Right?
That's you could just throw out anything and
Yep.
sound confident, and people be like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that might really happen."
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're all possibilities.
Yeah.
And you could come up with a million different possibilities, and there's no foundation to prove it wrong.
Right.
To go
exactly.
like, oh, no, this would never happen. Well, you don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know Brock Bowers was going to happen.
Exactly.
True.
I've seen a bunch of mocks come out the last day or two that has Jalen Milroe being the next quarterback off the board after Shador Sanders
That's
instead of
bananas.
Jackson Dart.
That's bananas, dude. I see that. Whatever. I can't.
It's crazy.
I can't get with that. But anyways,
You know what I can't get with though?
well, hold on. I'm not done yet.
Oh, we'll
I'll
go.
just make it quick. I'll get back to my point. Silver and Black today. Join us tomorrow. We're going to be live on the draft until Mo gets on. Mo's going to jump on, and I'm going to hang out with Mo for a while, and then I'll probably dip out at some point after that. I'm not going to be on for the whole 3 hours or whatever. But check it out tomorrow, at least for the first part of the draft. And I know everyone's live tomorrow. Like that's
Sure.
You know what I mean. So everyone's got. So you got a lot of choices out there. But if you care to come join me and Scott there at the top of the draft on Silver and Black today.
I'll be in the chat. I'll jump
be in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and I'm going to simulcast it here.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have it live
good.
here too on this channel too.
Good,
So,
good,
yep,
good.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Now I'm done talking.
Very
I
cool.
promise.
Hey, so Yoshi, he took your advice there and he gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, thank you, Yoshi.
Yeah. So much respect. And then My 2 Cents jumped in and said One Nation Foundation salute with a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Hey, thank you. My 2 cents, you said?
Yeah, My 2 Cents.
Thank you, My 2 cents. Appreciate that very much, man. That money will go straight to the foundation. Will go straight to Raiders-related charities.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Hooligan Nation gifted 5 memberships as well.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hooligan.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh,
Hooligan.
and one of those gifts went to my wife.
Oh, perfect.
Enjoy that green, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, Jeff, hit a break, man, and then okay, well, finally, we'll talk about the draft.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murf, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle
Michelle.
Mosh. Tune in because they got a banger podcast.
You know, we need to put that in there. We need to get Will to
I would
call
say just
Jeff
tell
back
Will
one of these days.
just say
St. Louis
Michelle.
Raiders.
That's all he needs to do.
Yeah,
Leave
that's
a voice
right,
note.
baby. And you're listening
I think Will
to
blocked
Murf
me.
and Uncle Mosh, who happens
must
to
have.
the same
I ain't heard from his ass in a
air as
while.
me. Check it out.
I'll hit him up.
Raiders Fan Radio.
Oh, yeah, would you?
Yeah, because he always answers me back.
Okay. Hey, so Demokes in the building says if we want to be taken serious, we got to draft serious. Talking to the Raiders front office, draft a damn kicker at 6 or we riot. But with a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you, Demokes.
Yeah, and then Tyler Raider just gifted 5 memberships as well.
Oh,
Dang.
You guys
How cool
are
is
the
that?
Best, man. You guys are the best. That is so cool. So that means we're gonna have I think that puts us way over 70 now that we'll have in terms of members.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Thank you so very, very much for that.
Also, too, I need to bring it. I can do those.
Oh, yeah, we should do
too.
some more of
Also,
those.
Paul, I haven't sent yours yet. I will send it. But if you got gifted a membership, I have some lino prints that I do, and I'll send you. They're numbered, and I'll send you one. But you got to send me to show at Raiders Fan Radio your address.
Awesome.
Physical address.
Yes, and we will get that mailed out
Yeah.
to you. And appreciate you doing that, Michelle.
Yeah.
And thank you to all of those new members. All right, okay, here we go. We're going to talk about the draft. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're going to call this the draft for dummies because, when it comes to the draft, as I mentioned, self-inflicted. We are a little bit of dummies when it comes to the draft. And it's not that I'm not interested in the draft. I really do love the draft. I just don't get into the nerdiness of it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This isn't a condemnation of what anybody chooses
Not
to
at all.
do with their fandom. But just for me, because something like Michelle said, here I've been, I always say don't get married to players, but I'm engaged to Ashton Genty. I mean,
real.
I hadn't married him, but we real serious. You know what I mean? I love that guy. He's great. I want him to be a freaking Raider. And I'm not shy to say it, Jeff.
Yeah. Y'all fooled around a little.
Did you sweep the nuts?
Oh my God.
Maybe. But the fit, I know what you're going to do, Jeff. So I think that it works really well for the Raiders. It makes a lot of sense on multi-levels. And you've heard all the reasons talked about ad nauseum, so I won't waste your time by going over them all. You guys know what it is. But I think that where the Raiders are at today and the opportunity that the Raiders would have with a player like that, I think that's the move. That said, now there's talk about the Jags taking him at 5, and Ashton Genty may not even be there. All right, so now we're talking about, which one of the players, because here's the good news, and here's what the part where I do kind of nerd out on the draft. It's what are our options? Now, if you're picking at 27, 28, whatever, even post 15, it's what are our options going to be? Well, you can almost throw a dart and not a Jackson dart. I'm talking about you can just about throw a dart and, whatever. But when you're at 6, okay, well, now let's identify who the 8 best players are in the draft and then see which one of those guys are going to be there regardless. And this is the way that I try to get my brain around it. Regardless of what anybody else does, what are the guys that if they're there, we would want to go, bang, yes, take them. All right. So the way that I get to that is by going off of need. So I start off of that is what's our positions of need? Well, if the most important position in the entirety of football is quarterback, and to have a franchise quarterback instantly makes you competitive, and if a rookie or on the rookie wage scale makes you highly competitive on the salary cap and on the field, and is the most important position, that's a slam dunk, right? So then when you start looking at the list, all right, well, if Cam Ward is available at number 6, you take the guy.
Oh,
now,
sure.
He's not going to be, and this isn't me telling you that he's going to be around, but I'm telling you that that's a guy. That's one of the 8 or one of the 6 even, right? So I put a check there. All right, Cam Ward. All right, now who's next on the quarterback list? All right, Shedeur Sanders. Are you taking Shedeur Sanders at 6? I don't know. I mean, and there was a pretty scathing article that came out today from Tom Pelissero, and Tom Pelissero is not a hit piece kind of guy, okay? But he assembled some anonymous opinions. Now, that said, I don't love anonymous opinions, Michelle.
Yeah.
I think, as Herm Edwards said, put your name on it.
Yeah.
You want to talk some shit? and put your goddamn name on it. And nobody put their names on these. These are anonymous. That said, it's like an NFL executive, a head scout, an assistant coach. It's like 6 or 7 different people in the league that have been in on interviews with Shedeur, and all of their messaging was the same. They detected that there's a sense of entitlement. They didn't love the body language. They didn't love a lot of the things that we've been defending Shedeur on, that he has been critical of. And we're like, wait a minute, what about his play? Like his play, is fantastic. And people are giving him shit because he's a Sanders. Well, you're going to have prime time when you're a Sanders. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if there's any air of these other things, and again, I'm not saying that there is, because these are anonymous opinions, which are bullshit. But if there is truth and there's a consistency of opinion, that makes me nervous, frankly.
It makes me nervous.
How
too.
is that going to fit with an NFL locker room?
Yeah, but they said that about Caleb Williams. Like, they had all kinds
That's true, too.
Terrible I mean, and I don't know what he's like. I don't know. And I think, too, I just really think there is one, when you say, like, when he said they're anonymous, like, those could literally be all of his opinions. And he said, oh, an executive, I don't know who it is that wrote this, but, like, you could say anybody said anything to spin it to sound like your opinion. And I'm not saying that that's what he did, but I think too.
No, and he's a reputable guy, and I don't think he would do that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, especially him being the son of Deion Sanders, like,
it's an easy
target. You're going to go in with he's entitled. He's like, you're going to go in with a little bit of that already in the back of your mind. And then when you see 1 or 2 things that validates what you're already going, your preconceived notions, like he's going to look who his father is. You didn't expect him to be like that. You didn't expect him to have a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of, I'm the greatest person in the draft. Like, you didn't expect he was going to have that. Like, what made you think he was going to be, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Like, Deion raised him to have the entitlement and the arrogance and all the things that he had. Like, I just find it wild that these are the things we're noticing.
Well, and 2 days
those were coming.
2 days before the draft, too.
Yeah.
It's really unique timing, and I think that you make a good point there, Michelle. And it's interesting, Jeff, that, like, again, this isn't a hit piece kind of guy, but if you went in with that mindset, like what Michelle's talking about. So if I'm the NFL executive, or I'm the assistant coach, or I'm whatever, this handful of cadre, as the kids say, this cadre of guys that participated in this interview. If I go into a sit down with Shedeur and my mindset is already these preconceived notions that Michelle's talking about, you don't think that Shedeur is going to pick up on that? And maybe his body language does get a little awkward. Maybe he does not participate in your questioning in a way that you want him to.
Yep.
And right? Yeah. And so therefore, when it comes time to make comments on, and that's where, like, I'm really trying to see both sides of this. And especially in fairness to the kid, because I want to, like, because there's been plenty of weeks we've been on these microphones and I'm like, if he's there, get him. Because we need a quarterback, and that guy's good enough to be a franchise quarterback. Get him. I don't give a shit who his dad is, what his name is. I don't give a shit about any of that. The kid can play, and he's never posed any kind of a problem to any teammate, anything other, nothing. So why are we, other than brashness, which I like, frankly, it's swaggering boisterously. Anybody ever heard of that? Like, right? It's kind of what we do. So I got no problem with it. So it's like, I don't know, like I want to understand, or at least try to interpret both sides, because I don't want to just dismiss it either and go, nope, not a problem. Take it, because that would be a big problem in the NFL. That would clash with the guys that are these cagey veterans, and the NFL is the ultimate meritocracy. And if you go into it with entitlement, you're going to find your ass out real quick. Ask Johnny Manziel, right? And so that's not the route that I would want for our Raiders, because then it's another setback. So all that said, when we really dove off on another conversation here, but I want your thoughts on this, is if he would be one there at 6, would you take him? To me right now, the answer would be yes. A tentative one, like I'd want to make sure that we were doing our due diligence and our own interviews. But if I had an opportunity to sit down with them and spend time with them and got to know them and whatever, okay, I think he's good enough. I would pull the trigger on this. Maybe I told you I was going to toss it to you, and I promise I will right now. He's the only one that's, to me, is a slam dunk over Genty, because again, it's position. what is the most important position in all of football? It's franchise quarterback. We know that Tom Brady feels the NFL has a quarterback development problem. And I know that people aren't going to love having Sanders on the bench. And I would feel bad for Geno Smith because the first time he has a bad game, everyone's going to be calling for his head and put the kid in. That said, put Shador behind Geno for a year or two, and then he comes in and starts and takes over for the team, and he's a monster for the next 10 years. That's why wouldn't you not do that?
Yeah, it's a tentative yes for me as well. You know, I saw an interview with him that he had. It was like a red carpet interview or something. I don't know where it was at or whatever. I also, just sidebar, I don't love the fact that Colorado's retiring his jersey.
That was weird. No, that was too daddy ball. That was daddy ball.
I think that's a daddy move for sure, you know, but like they're doing it with Travis Hunter as well.
Yeah.
Like they're
Cordell
retiring
Stewart somewhere going, what the?
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't love that, but I did watch this interview and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But to your point, Michelle, that's just kind of who he is. He's his father's son, and he's gonna be, you know, super confident and cocky and arrogant. He's gonna be all those things. But like they were asking him, like, all right, hey, we're gonna ask you all these questions about who's your goats. And so it was like, you know, who's your GOAT athlete? And he said, Shador Sanders. And he was like, what's your GOAT TV show? Coach Prime. What's your GOAT actor? Shiloh Sanders. And like, it was just like all these like self-referential kind of things. And I was just like, I don't love that. But like, but to your point, like, that, I mean, what else? Would I expect anything different from a guy like Shador? Right. You know, Coach Deion Sanders' kid? Like, no, I wouldn't expect anything different. So I don't know. But
it's almost like people forgot what Deion was like when he got drafted. Like, he epitomized that. He invented that shit, and he will tell you. You know what? If you've never seen the 30 for 30 on Deion, go watch it. And because he will tell you there's a difference between Deion and prime time. Wait, which one? And he even says it in the camera. He goes, which one do you want? You want me to be Deion right now? Or then he puts on his sunglasses. He goes, or do you want prime?
I think we're also talking about what is he, 21? How old is he?
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
He's a kid who maybe he's tired of answering the same questions. Maybe he's, you know, like, and I know that they're trained, media trained, a lot of them are, but he's 21. His frontal lobe hasn't even developed at this point, you know, like, so you can't expect him to give every interview perfectly, especially, and I'm not saying, yeah, it's a slam dunk, but also I thought it was a swing until you hit kind of deal. So
100%.
Take him, see what happens, and then swing again if it doesn't work out. Like, but I don't know. I think that especially like with executives, and a lot of these guys are from different generations. We're talking about a different generation of kids now that are coming in, and no, they're not all entitled, and they're not all, but they all communicate way differently than an executive would communicate. Right. Like, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just giving people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. But it just is like, I don't know. He's 21. He's a kid, you know? So you can't expect every interview to be polished and perfect. And I know also.
No, but we have kids that age.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we have kids that are that age. I got one that's he's 21 now, getting ready to turn 22 next month.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the same age as Devin, same age as your son. You know what I mean? So like, and you're right. They do. They do communicate differently. Now our kids communicate differently with us, but because they're ours. Like they've been communicating with us our whole life.
But generationally,
it's different.
It's just different. And it's hard for us to fathom the way a lot of them communicate, but it's same thing happened with Caleb Williams last year. People did not like the way that he interviewed. They didn't, especially there towards the draft. They were finding all the things that seemed like they were going to be problems in the locker room. And I mean, he seems to. I don't know how he's doing, but I don't keep up. But I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Swing,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. Swing.
And that's my point as well. I think I totally agree with you. I think he's the only guy that I would take over Ashton Genty at this point. You know what I mean? And I love Ashton Genty. I think he's a generational guy
let's move into that then.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me finish making my point. But you look at this list of running backs and it's deep. So if this wasn't as deep, then I would say maybe you take Genty over Shador. But the quarterback list right here that we've got, it's not as deep, you know? So if you've got a guy that's there that is a generational talent like Shador Sanders probably is, you gotta take him because you can go get Dylan Sampson or one of these other guys. We're gonna jump right into the running backs here, but yeah, I mean, there's not a whole we ain't got a whole lot of options at quarterback in the draft right now.
Absolutely, but then also that said, we have a very serviceable veteran for the next few years where you could let Geno play out and not feel like you have to swing on this one necessarily, Michelle. But although I completely agree with you, and I don't, so I'm really torn on this one. I'll end it with this. I think we all at a minimum are just kind of torn. Where I know where my fan opinion would lie, but I can also very much see the flip side of this thing too, from many levels. Not only the off the field shit, but the on the field shit, and just like the whole 9 yards. I could see both sides of the conversation. So, which I know is a weird thing for the internet for people to say, like, "Oh, I know, I kind of see it both ways." But that's the truth, and that's not riding the fence. That's just trying to be reasonable when we're looking at this stuff. All right. So after that, what positions of need on a football team? Well, then you would go edge rusher. Well, I think we're pretty good there. Then you go tackle. Well, I think we're pretty good there, except for maybe the right side. But you're not taking a right tackle at number 6. I don't think so.
Not.
I don't think so.
That said, they might. Like they
could get Membu.
And then there's the other guy, the guy out of Texas. I'm blanking on his name right now. It's probably on the list there. The kid out of Texas is going to be an instant starter. And not only can he play tackle, but he can also play guard. And we know that we have a deficit at guard. So that said, I don't know if what's his name? It's like Banks
I don't see a guy from Texas on the list.
He's not on there. It's like I think it's like Caleb Banks or something like that.
Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks.
That's
him.
him.
He's guard.
Yeah, there you go. So, and he can play tackle as well, and played left tackle at Texas, one of the best teams in the country this last year, and has been a 3-year starter. He's dominant in the run game. Like, listen, I know it's not a sexy name. That's not a sexy pick, but that's a very in the trenches John Spytek kind of pick that no one's talking about. No one's talking about a kid like that. And so talking about how we always get surprised on draft day, here we all are licking our chops going, come on, Ashton Genty.
But is that a position that you could trade back and get someone of equal, and then that would make more sense?
That to me, yeah.
And you've already got Colton Miller.
Right.
And you're not, again, if you want to plug him in to play guard, because now JPJ is kicked into center, do you want to draft a guard at 6?
Yeah.
To me, I don't think so. So I think that the answer is running back, because we are clearly at a deficit. We have what? Raheem Mostert on the roster and Sincere McCormick. And I know people are in love with him, and you know what, but like, I mean, he's fine.
Is Alex Madison not on the roster anymore?
Did we get
so. No, I saw he posted a picture of him in a Dolphins jersey or something. I had no idea he was gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fly high, King.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Amir Abdullah's gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm almost positive that it's Lauby and freaking Raheem Mostert. Those are our two starting running backs. And clearly the NFL is making a shift more back towards the running back now. Yeah. And I know that people go like, well, how'd that work out for the Giants? Well, the Giants are a disaster and have been for a long time. Our Raider team, while it's deficient at multiple positions, is way more put together than those Giants teams were. And those Giants teams were terrible defensively. We actually have a good defense. And we've got a serviceable quarterback. And we've got the best tight end in football. Watch that happen. And now you're going to put the best rookie running back on that team too? Give me all day long. Like, to me, it's a slam dunk. And the people that are like, oh, he played at a small school. Small school bullshit. Ball is ball. Well, how would he have done if he played up in an SEC schedule? I don't know. He would have had an SEC offensive line blocking in front of him. Nobody ever takes into account that. They just want to account the defenses he would have been going up against. But guess what? If you put that kid in Ohio State, how many yards is he rushing for now?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that doesn't hold any water. The size argument doesn't hold any water. The kid, and they go, well, or some people say, well, we don't have a good enough offensive line. Why don't call the offensive line again? He averages 10 yards a carry after contact.
Damn.
After contact. Give me the guy that averages a first down after contact. Remind you of anybody? Josh Jacobs, anybody?
Yeah.
In one of the worst offensive lines in football and won the rushing title? Why? Because he was good after contact. Dude, it's a slam dunk to me on that one. Outside of the quarterback conversation, That is going to have the biggest impact on our football team.
Yeah, when you lay out our running backs, that seems like that's the only answer.
Depth regardless.
Yikes,
Because I love, Amarian Hampton and Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Junkins, Dylan Sampson, there's a lot of great names on this list, but they fall off a cliff after Ashton Genty.
Mm-hmm.
This is a third down guy. He's got great hands. Guess what quarterbacks love? A good tight end and a good running back. They can get rid of the ball quickly too.
Yep.
That's their freaking, their savior when plays break down, is they can get rid of the ball and toss it over to that guy and let him make something happen. All he's got to do is beat one guy. Okay, guess what he does after contact? Gets first downs.
Mm-hmm.
What a mercy. It's such a no-brainer to me. Anyway, so that said, that's another guy that we can add to the list, okay? So now we add Ashton Genty to the list. You guys follow me here? While we're doing this?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next position of need? I would say either guard or tackle.
Sure.
Right? Okay, so you got Will Campbell, obviously out of LSU, slam dunk, going to be drafted probably
top four, probably.
Yeah. And then Membu, okay? So there's your next one. All right, so we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, and we're picking at 6. All right, now we need a wide receiver. Because listen, I'm sorry, everything except maybe defensive tackle, we're going to just go through these in order. But outside of defensive tackle, wide receiver might, offensive positions to me are the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know we could use a corner, but guess what? We could trade for Jalen Ramsey. There's other solutions involved in there, right? Everybody loves this Tatori McMillan out of Arizona. He's the number one guy. I don't love him based on the comments that he made.
Yes.
But he was a freshman, and as we've talked about, kids say the darndest things. I played high school football too. So did you. How many times did you study film when you were, now granted it was a different time and a different era. Now they can watch this shit on their phones. Mm-hmm. But I was
a third string. I didn't even have a playbook.
Right. But so I get it. And so I want to have Grace there.
What did he say? I don't know.
He said he was asked if he watched football, and he said no. He goes,
I don't watch film. I don't like studying film.
I don't like studying film.
Mark him off the list.
See, and that's where
that's egregious.
Even when you're a kid, it's
no.
The optics aren't great. No. But I get that that he's okay. See, there you go.
That's where I draw the line, Murf. The hell.
Then guard. Okay, so we talked about Kelvin Banks, who's listed as a guard, even though he played tackle, but he can play both. All right. It would because Tyler Booker's going to be gone, right? Well, he probably won't be gone ahead of us, though. I don't think so. The guard at Alabama, I don't think he's going to be gone. But I don't think you would take, again, I just can't get with the idea of taking a guard at 6. No. Then you've got edge rushers, although we have a brilliant edge rusher already in Max Crosby. We have a really good one, hopefully coming off an injury, and Malcolm Kuntz to complement it. But wouldn't it be wonderful to have somebody else that's dominant on the other side of Max Crosby? You talk about defense, man. So I think that where I lean towards offensive positions in this draft, if a guy like Abdul Carter is there, you run that pick into the table.
You absolutely do.
Right? He's not going to be, but you guys get where I'm going with all this, okay? Same thing with Mason Graham.
But Jalen Walker ain't no slouch either.
No, but you're not going to take him at 6.
You probably won't take him at 6.
Because you've already got Malcolm Kuntz. So it's not that's not like a dire position of need for us. Where interior defensive line, that you can make an argument for. So if Mason Graham is there, right, out of Michigan, if he's there, then that's a guy that you might consider taking at number 6. Then you got Jihad Campbell, linebacker. We need a linebacker. That would be somebody I would consider. So you guys see where I'm going. So anyways, point being, we have now gone through all these positions. Now you got cornerback, Trav, right? We don't even need to go to Will Johnson. We can just leave it at Trav. And then we're not going to draft a safety in the first round. So now, how many players is that? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're picking at 6.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's where my brain goes and stops. Because after that, second round, trying to read into shit. You can go if we don't get the quarterback, then maybe Will Howard if he's there in the 3rd, or we can move back up into the this or that for Dart or whatever. Fine. All those are valid opinions. But as far as what are the sure things, there you go. One of those guys that we just covered is going to be a Raider in the top of the first round.
Right.
So there you go. There's my spiel for Draft for Dummies. Who wants to take it?
Yeah, well, I think, we went through that whole list, and yes, there's 9 or 10 players right there that will more than likely be the Raiders' first-round pick. But I think if it's not one of these two guys, I think if it's not Shedeur Sanders and it's not Ashton Jeanty, I'm not opposed to trading back, because at that point,
I agree.
I think at that point, you look at these lists and the depth that you have on all these different things, wide receiver, even running back, stuff like that. I think if Shedeur Sanders and Ashton Jeanty are gone by 6, I'd be calling people. Hey, you want my pick? Hey, Saints, you want to get another quarterback or whatever because Derek Carr might not be playing. Holler at your boy. You know what I mean? So, because you look at the depth in a lot of these positions of need,
there's a lot of
lot of value. Yeah. There's a lot of value in the later rounds. So, why not build up and get more draft capital in that way? So,
I don't disagree with them, Michelle. I think moving in this draft is a very, very viable, smart option for the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot past the first 10 people. So the other people that you named, I don't know anything about them. But yeah, I mean, I'm always down for first best available player. Like, I think that's a solid move. But if you can trade back, like, why wouldn't you do that? And so, yeah, those are the two options. But Jeanty, I mean, we need a running back. So if he's available, why wouldn't you take him?
Yeah. Agree. Yeah. But by moving back, and it allows you to fill multiple positions because we'd have a couple of seconds or a second, a third, because we have 1 pick in every round except 6. We got 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and for a team that, again, I don't think we're devoid of talent. I think we're pretty good defensively, and we've got some really good players offensively. We just don't have enough. But for a team that needs to build depth, give me more swings. Give me more bites at the apple, man.
There you go.
And so trading back, and we've seen Spytek's drafts, or at least the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafts that he's been part of. The Buccaneers move all over the place, man. Yeah. And we haven't seen the Raiders move around a lot in a hot minute. And you watch. This draft is going to be exciting because we're going to see our Raiders moving all over the place. And it wouldn't surprise me, Michelle. I'm with you. If it happened, day one.
Yeah.
Day one, I will not be sad about that.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, all right. What's the chat room saying? Shout out the chat room in there.
Let's see. Pitt is in there. Trinidad's in there. Paul in there. SoCal Sal. Kelly Kreiner in there.
What's up, Kelly?
Let's see. Ron the Materator. Rossi Biddle in there. Jordan Ford. Daniel is in there. Hooligan Nation. Let's see here. Rastafarian is in there. Chuck Raider in there.
Hey,
My
Chuck.
2 cents is in there. Raider Paul is in there. We got the whole crew, man.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate all of those of you checking us out here at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, I got one more question for you guys, and then we'll take it to break. And I got a Murf's Black Hole the Internet for you. Not making light of the term, but PTSD. How bad is your PTSD around Raiders drafts, Michelle, based on what we've seen in the past? And and I don't mean this any other way than what it is. We've seen a handful of Raider drafts now at this point.
Yeah.
Like, do you go into it automatically just kind of tentative or are you just like, whatever happens?
Yeah, I think I have a really short memory, clearly, because every season I say we're going to win every game. So I do and with the draft, I literally go into it like whatever the hell happens, because I think I've been let down so many times. It's just like, just pick somebody and then let's move forward. Let's get to playing some games. So yeah. I don't really have any, like, it is what it is.
About you, Swag?
Well, my first year as a Raider fan, in Nashville, with the 4th pick, they take Cleveland Ferrell, and so that's just, it's, and I know it's a different regime. It's different, all that. It's not a Gruden grinder that we're drafting at 6.
Gotta get my guys, man.
Gotta get my guy, but yeah, no, I have a little, I'm a little hesitant on draft day, and you start hearing stories about how we could have traded up to get CJ Stroud, but instead we stuck where we were at and, drafted, what's his name? The edge rusher that is not very good for us.
Tyree Wilson.
Yes, Tyree Wilson. Yeah. So, I mean.
Who's rumored to be traded, by the way.
Good. Well, they're good.
Yeah.
Good. See you, bye.
Yeah. And
See you,
so
bye.
is Michael Mayer. Like,
Okay.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a whole bunch going on this draft, man. It's gonna be
Okay.
wild. For
Deal.
the Raiders. Yeah.
Deal. Yeah. But no, I feel a certain kind of way. I mean, the draft season is always like one of my favorite times of the year. And I don't get into the weeds. I'm not nerdy or whatever. Like, nothing wrong with it if you are. But I don't dig in. Like, I really like Ashton Genty. Like, I really like him and some of these other guys, Shador Sanders. I like some of these guys, but I don't dig in until tomorrow night.
This is why I'm happy that I don't pay attention, because I didn't even know Cleveland Farrell was a bad pick until I saw everybody's face. Because I did not, I didn't keep up. So they said his name and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know anything about him. And then everybody started losing their shit. And I was like, they did it again.
Like,
they did it again. But I didn't know until I saw everybody's face and I was like,
Yeah.
And it was bad.
To me, it comes down to, like, do you have faith in the regime? I think that's where
And the answer to that for me is yes.
Yeah, and I think so too. I think that we all have faith in Spytek and Carroll and Tom Brady.
Tom.
Yeah, I think that we all have faith in those guys. And I lost a little bit of faith in Gruden. And listen, I'm a Gruden apologist. I like John Gruden. I think he's hilarious and I love him as a coach. As a personnel guy, probably needs some work. And and it's unfortunate he overrode a lot of Mike Mayock, because I do think Mike Mayock was a very good GM or in terms of personnel evaluation, but he got overridden by John because John had to have his guys. So that said, I do have a lot of faith in the regime. I don't think this is going to be a wild ass out of nowhere type situation. I don't think that we're going to see anything like that. So I can only go off of what their track record is, albeit short. But what has their track record been so far this offseason? It's been methodical. It's been calculated. It's not been a wild swing. It's been a trade back. It's been, right? Like, who's like very clinical around the way Spytek has approached this offseason when it comes to free agency, when it comes to contracts. He got his quarterback. And he took care of the best player on the team. Those were his first two orders of business.
Yep.
Okay. So it's like those were smart moves. They weren't trading 2 first-rounders for Devontae Adams. They weren't signing Christian Wilkins to a billion-dollar contract. They weren't. But what they did was they took care of business for the most important business that had to be taken care of. So therefore, I have faith that he's going to enter into the draft, and that's what we're going to see. We're not going to see a wild swing. I don't think so.
Good.
That's why, and frankly, now that I'm saying that out loud, it makes me talk my way out of Shador, because I feel like that's a swing, and I don't think that's what Spytek's going to do. I don't think that he would have brought in Geno with the intent to draft his replacement
in the first
6,
round.
in the first round.
Yeah.
And
I think it's Genty or bust
It'd have to be
for
a
these guys.
bigger swing. Like Shador's
Right.
right. Yeah, it'd have to be a bigger
swing. Yes, 100%. I agree. Yeah. So I think that that's where this is going to be. I think it's going to be unexciting. Well, here I got done telling you how much fun we're going to have watching the draft, and Raiders are going to move around and blah, 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 all that stuff. It's not going to be some like, whoa moment.
It's not going to be Antonio Brown coming down in a fucking, balloon.
Right.
Right. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be,
it's going to be kind of quiet, which, and
stealthy. I like
that.
As
much as, there you go. While I love swaggering boisterously and I love all that, that's meant for the field, because Al Davis was the only one that was allowed to me to be a front office or off the field guy to pull that persona.
Yep.
Because when he died, he took that with him. When it came to front office and, on the field, different. I feel much, much different around that. But Al was the one. You're never going to be Al Davis. So don't try to be something, which is what I think ultimately got McDaniels and yada, yada, yada. But so all that said, that's where I'm kind of going into with. I'm like not even cautiously optimistic. I'm just like tentative to the idea that I'm not, even though as much as I love Ashton Genty, if he's not the guy, he's not the guy. And the reason that it's scary to me to get that invested into in an opinion is because what if he ends up a Bronco?
Yeah, exactly.
What if they trade up with the Jaguars and all of a sudden he's a freaking Bronco? Or what if he's a Bear? Which, and I don't have any hatred per se for the Bears.
But they're not Raiders.
Yeah. So guess what? All that time and energy I invested into rooting for a player, talking about a player, focusing on a player, all that shit goes right out the window.
Yep.
Like the minute he's announced. So, I just try to go into it thinking like, and the last thing I'll say is this to close it out. Last year when we were losing a bunch, right? And everybody's like, oh, it's going to cost us a quarterback. It's going to cost us a quarterback. And now no one wants us to draft a quarterback, which is funny. But during that time, and people were like, oh, it's going to mess up our draft position if we win, and blah, blah, blah. And my opinion then was the same that it is now. To me, it didn't matter where we were going to draft. It mattered what you did with what you had and when it was your turn. Yeah. When you were on the clock, did you make a good decision? Right? Like to me, it didn't matter where you picked. It didn't matter if they were picking number 1 or picking number 20. Were you smart with it and did something best for the football team at the time in which you had to pick? That's what was important to me.
Did you get Cleveland Farrell? Did you get Brock Bowers?
There you go. Bingo, dude.
You know?
Bingo.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what we'll see tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if we trade up.
For who?
Ashton Genty.
Well, we go leapfrog the Bears.
Leapfrog the Bears, leapfrog the friggin' trade with New England.
What are they at, 4?
4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
This is Michelle's favorite topic, speculation. But
I nodded off, I think, first. But no, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, if that's their guy, it's their guy. You know, I mean, was it Spytech that said like his kid was like, if you don't draft Ashton Genty, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You know, so or he's disowning his father or something goofy like that. But yeah, so who knows? Who knows? It's going to be interesting, man. I'm fired up for tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Man, we talked a lot about the draft.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
Las Vegas, a city without a pro
My second favorite sound.
in a world gone mad. What can we do about it? Acquire the most desired franchise in sports history? Sin City, lost wages, home of the Elvis weddings, and 24-hour debauchery. But finally, a match made in heaven. The Oakland Raiders have landed in the desert with the Death Star as their home. And to celebrate beyond your imagination has come 3 individuals hosting the most irreverent show while paying homage to the storied history of this franchise. Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Swaggy J, and Michelle, taking a lighter side journey into the dark side.
All right, appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate you jumping in and joining us for our Draft for Dummies show. And that was a lot of fun. That was fun going over all that stuff, man. Speculating for what's going to happen tomorrow. Going to be a good time tomorrow. I hate that we're not in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
I got to make it a priority, maybe for next year, that even if the draft isn't in Vegas, we got to be in Vegas for the draft, man.
Yeah.
That was so damn fun. I mean, it's always fun to be in Vegas.
I've never been in Vegas for the draft.
That's right,
So,
huh?
next year we have to.
It was so fun. We had such a great time out there, so we got to do that. Get back out to Sin City there for the draft. Which Valerie and I are going in May.
Oh, cool.
We've got a fun May trip, which is kind of cool because it's not Raiders related.
Oh, yeah.
We're just gonna go do shows, and we're gonna go and we're gonna see Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna do that and have pool day and just hang out and enjoy it. And so yeah, if you're gonna be in Vegas in May, if you see us, say hi. Before we get to the Murph's Black Hole of the Internet, Michelle, do you have the chat room there? You mind shouting out the chat room?
Mm-hmm. Chris Lasorda's in there. Pitt's in there. Jordan Ford, Ron, Paul, Trinidad's in there.
Hey, Trin.
Raider Paul, Kelly Griner, Eddie Tomlinson. Let's see. Martin's in there, but I thought he said he was going to sleep. But he's still Chuck Rader's in there.
Well, he's in the
Rossi
UK, so
Biddle's
it's like winter over there already.
Yeah, well, time to hibernate. Just Win Baby's in there. MLA all day. Everybody's in there.
Good deal.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you
hanging
all.
out, guys.
Thank you all very, very much. Thank you for all the gifted memberships. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the amazing support you give us here at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so we've got a segment we bust out every once in a while. Welcome to Murph's Black Hole of the Internet.
Murph's Black Hole of
the internet.
A journey that begins where everything ends.
All right, so I love this segment because this is where I get to nerd out about the Raiders stuff here. I love this. All right, so of the Raiders Hall of Famers,
okay,
we're going to talk about the ones that went to, quote, smaller schools, which I don't love that term, but these are group of 5 schools. These are historically black colleges. These are schools that this isn't Alabama and Ohio State and SEC, you know what I mean? SEC schools, that kind of stuff. All right, so this perked my brain because I was on with the group of 5 guys the other day, and we were talking about talent is talent, ball is ball, and it doesn't matter what level they were playing at. If their tape is good, if they're good kids, they're whatever, if all the intangibles and everything the talent is there, you dang draft them. And like it didn't matter that Judkins played at Ohio State and Genty played at Boise State. You draft Genty over the guy, you know what I mean? Like the school doesn't qualify,
right?
And so that was the gist of the conversation. And I made the point because, I make Raider points when we talk about football, whether it's college football or not, is that one of the things that Al Davis did that I'm so incredibly proud of for the way that our organization was founded was that Al Davis went off the map, the quote map of the day in that climate of the AFL and the NFL. He did recruit at the HBCUs. He did recruit at smaller schools. He went places where scouts and organizations were not going to find players because all he cared about was, do you love football and can you play? That's all that man cared about. And that ultimately led to define what it was to be a Raider and defines, frankly, what we are as a fan base. And it's so wonderfully, established by Al. And I just love that part of our organization. So that said, it got me thinking about the Raiders Hall of Famers because I knew off the top of my head, I knew that there was, because it was always fascinating to me when I read up on the Raiders as a kid about these schools that some of these guys came from, because I'm like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard that school before. So I knew that, and I brought that up on the show. And so then I went back in and looked, and the Raiders have, do you guys know how many Raiders are in the Hall of Fame? Either one of you? Want to take a guess at it? A stab at it?
Is it like 23?
A little better than that. You're close. So it's 30. So the Raiders have 30, but there are also a lot of players in the Hall of Fame that are, quote, Raiders that, to me, while I understand why they claim them, because listen, when players go into the Hall of Fame, it's not like baseball. You don't go in representing a team. It's not like, Joe DiMaggio is a Yankee or, Reggie Jack, whatever. Like you pick what team you want to represent. You go into the Hall of Fame as a player and all your teams come with you.
Right.
So Charles Woodson is in the Hall of Fame as a Raider and a Packer.
Right.
Right? It's not one or the other. So I looked at players like Ronnie Lott, who was a Raider for 2 years. Well, he wasn't a Hall of Famer as a Raider. He was a Hall of Famer as a Niner. So to me, while on paper, yes, you could quote count him, but that's not what we're talking about here in the scope of this conversation.
Sure.
Who is the homegrown talent? I'm talking about players that were either drafted by the Raiders or acquired very young in their career, like Willie Brown. Willie Brown came to the Raiders in 1967 from the Broncos and played all the way through the end of his career till like 78 or 79, wherever it was.
Yeah.
So obviously that's, quote, homegrown talent. So I went through and checked off the names on the list that I thought were homegrown talent. You guys want to guess how many of those were homegrown Raider Hall of Famers?
Of the 30? What did you say?
Of the 30, yes.
Oh, 19.
Very close, 15.
Okay.
So 15 of those were direct relations to the Raiders acquiring them young in their career. Of those 15, how many do you think came out of, quote, small schools?
12.
I was going 9.
5.
Oh.
Okay.
So 5. Now that's much less than the numbers you guys picked, but of the 15 guys, 33% of them came out of small schools. So like Jim Otto played at Miami. I'm doing some of these I'm doing off the top of my head. Jim Otto played at Miami. Freddie B, we know, was Florida State. Ted Hendricks was Miami. Mike Haynes was Arizona State, I want to say. Dave Casper was Notre Dame. Marcus Allen, USC, right? So you kind of get, those are big schools. Willie Brown. You guys know where Willie Brown went? Grambling, HBCU.
Score.
Gene Upshaw. No one will know this. I promise you.
won't.
And because this is one of the obscure ones that has been burned into my brain since I was a kid. And the school doesn't even exist anymore. It's called something else now. Texas A&I.
Oh.
Okay.
Now it's called like Texas A&M Kingsville or something like that. Right? Art Shell. No one will know this either. If some people in the chat, if you know it, props to you. Maryland Eastern Shore.
Wow.
Your Hall of Famers that anchored the left side of your offensive line during some of the finest eras of Raider football came out of Texas A&I and Maryland Eastern Shore. Like, right?
Wow.
Howie Long.
Villanova, right?
Villanova.
Yeah.
Good one, Swag Jeff.
Yeah.
And there's one more. Southern Mississippi. Group of 5 guys. Ray Guy. Speaking
There
of
you
guys.
go.
Bing, you know what? And then you got Timmy B, of course. You got Notre Dame. Kenny Stabler was Alabama. Woodson was Michigan. Then Cliff Branch was Colorado. So, and by the way, why aren't we retiring Cliff Branch's jersey here before we're retiring Travis
for real.
Hunter, right? You know?
Dude, serious.
Right? But anyways, so I said it because I just thought it was a fun exercise to go back and look back through that. But very, very interesting there that 33% of the Raiders Hall of Famers came from, quote, small schools. So anybody that's saying, no, don't draft Ashton Genty, where did he play? Well, don't worry about it. Just get the guy on the team and let him go run us to the Hall of Fame.
There you go. 100%.
All right, let's hear from them because more of them and less of us is a good
Oh,
thing.
yeah, for sure. Let's do that.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he throws. It is.
All right, Raider Nation, we appreciate you very, very much joining us for this episode 370 of Raiders Fan Radio. This is where we get to hear from you because more of you and less of us is a good thing. And so we're going to get to your emails and voicemails. And if you want to participate in the show, you can not only jump into the chat room live each and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, but you can call the show. And you call the show at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. And we would love to hear your voicemail. And if we play it 3 or more times on the show, you could become the next made man or made maiden here at Raiders Fan Radio. Or, this is Kevin the Raider Nerd's favorite bit, you can email the show.
Yes.
And you email the show at show. That is S-H. Wait, let's do this. That is S like Shador. H like
Howie.
Long. Oh, good job.
I was thinking Howie's good. Or Howard, because quarterback again.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing
I don't
that.
know. You can do whatever you want, but S-H-O.
Auto.
Is
The
in
auto, nice.
Oh, yeah. Or a Marion Hampton.
Oh,
Hey.
nice. Okay. And W. Will Howard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Double up on the wheel.
Double up on the wheels.
Perfect. Pause.
I was waiting for it. Every time we go visit the bus, that's what Jeff says.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Why are you guys turning around on me? Pause.
Jackass. Oh my gosh, Michelle's sitting over there going like, why do I hang out with these idiots?
Why do I do this?
Why do I do this to myself on Wednesdays? Anyways, that is SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. And Michelle will get your emails. And if we read them on the show in a definite amount of times, you could become a made man or made maiden that way. And so, Michelle, what fantastic emails do we have tonight?
So first we have Matthew Mangus.
Hey, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Raider Nation. We have finally made it to the NFL Draft. In the next 3 days, we will have brand new players in the silver and black, and now here are my top prospects for the draft. Running back Ashton Genty, first round. Scattaboo, day 2 or 3. The Ohio State running back. QB Sanders, 1 round. Oh, I guess he's giving possibilities. Mason Graham, Will Johnson. He does not like any wide receivers. When it's all said and done, I trust Bytek and Carroll, and if you're not down with that, I've got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Nice.
Yours truly, Matthew Mangus, diehard Raiders fan, AA Communications graduate with the AS in progress. Cool. Way to go. Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Daniel is next. Mangus. Dear RFR, the time has come. We are 24 hours away from finding out who the Raiders pick at number 6 overall. If you ask me, don't mess around. Take Genty. He's a can't-miss prospect, and we need a one RB. We can't go into the year with the running back room we have right now. In the second round, start looking for our future QB. This is where I see Jackson Dart being the pick. He has all the tools and doesn't have to start right away. The other quarterback I like is Jalen Milroe. He's got all the tools except for mechanics. He also doesn't have to start right away and get to work. Who knows how the draft shakes up, but here we go. Take care, RFR. Daniel Mangus. Thank you, Daniel. Next, we have Hooligan. Good evening, RFR, Murf, Swaggo, Michelle, and the best damn chat room in the nation. And good morning, Paul. In the eve of the draft, and the only thing we have at this moment are possibilities. Will it be Ashton Genty, the bruiser of a running back that doesn't believe he can be tackled? Shador Sanders, the second coming at quarterback that some say is a generational talent, while others believe is nothing but smoke and mirrors? Could Travis Hunter fall into our lap? Who some say could be as good or better than Woodson. Sorry, Michelle. Oh, pump the brakes. What the fuck?
Oh, jeez.
Who's saying that? Send me their information. I know those could be fighting words. Yes, you're right. Or could the Raiders do Raider shit and draft somebody no one expects? I even heard rumors of another tight end and 13 personnel. Only kidding. This time on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we know.
I'll get us fired up.
Wait and see, kids. Only time will tell. Your friendly neighborhood hooligan signing off.
There you go, Hooligan.
So who's the number 1 tight end on the board?
Jeez, I don't even know.
That would be fun. Next, we have Paul. Evening, everybody. Hope all is
Michelle
well.
suffers no fools. She's just like, nope, not even going to give you time to go there.
So here we are again, standing at the gates of yet another draft. The hopes and dreams of this year's young guys lie before them, and we all get to see that the real Mr. Irrelevant is Roger Goodell. What an odious, slimy turd that man is. My first experience of the draft was 19... that was gross. Paul, why would you make me read that? Why would you do that? My first experience of the draft was 1982. The Raiders selected some guy called Marcus Allen, then Jack Squarick, and Van Squarick, and Van McElroy as well. Not a bad start, was it? We didn't always get it wrong. So what will happen this year? The speculation can soon end, and the mock drafts can all hibernate, but for what it's worth, this is my take on Green Bay 2025. I won't mention names because we don't fall in love with players, do we? Except Genty. Please pick Genty. We have to pick Genty. For the love of God, pick Genty. Sorry. I believe we have 8 areas of need in order: running back, CB, wide receiver, quarterback, RB2, tackle, guard, and LB, and here's why. RB1, for me, this is our weakest room. Moster and McCormick are fine, but the others are untried or weak. Wide receiver, Jacoby Myers is likely to be our wide receiver 1 unless we sign someone like Tyler Lockett. Tucker is okay, but his stats aren't that special yet. Another weak area for us, so sign Lockett and get a stud. CB, we have some depth here, but we need to get Jalen Ramsey and the best corner available to improve the quality. QB, now we have Geno. We need a good project. Best available, please, to sit at QB2. RB2, the experts tell me it's a stacked running back room this year, so get another baller to beef up the room. With tackle and guard, we only have 3 of each, assuming JPJ will stick at center, so we need at least 1 more at either position for depth. LB, not as crucial as other areas, but I always like to see a LB somewhere in the draft. We still have at least 1 pick left after that, plus the undrafted free agents, but this would balance the roster quite well. Whatever happens over the next few days, I think we're in for an exciting time. In this, the most important draft in recent memory, quite possibly, I found myself saying the same thing over and over the last couple of years, though. The difference being AP didn't have the experience, and he surrounded himself with too many people, and the dumbass, visor-wearing, fat-eared prick McWeenie was just a grade-A jackwagon. This year, we have Pete Carroll, who knows a thing or two about this draft stuff. So buckle up, everyone. We're nearly on the clock. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, Made Man of the Year 2024, BRT Sizzler Scorekeeper, Proud Made Man,
5 time.
times 4 plus 4, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Hey. Good job, Paul.
Paul.
Your name Paul?
Hello? Paul. Hello? Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
You're darn right you are. Thank you, Paul. That was incredible. Did you get Martin's email? Did you get that one in there?
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. One more email.
Made me think of the UK. So we got one more to get to, yeah.
Because it wasn't on my phone, so I didn't look. Okay. Good evening, all. What a relief. Draft week is finally here, and all the speculation and guesswork and smoke screenery can stop, and we get to just enjoy the twists and turns as they happen and celebrate our newest members of the Silver and Black. With any luck, we won't be in such an exalted draft position for quite some time due to better results, so it's incumbent upon Pete, John, Tom, and whoever else in our war room to have done their homework and get this right the first time. Whoever we pick first will be a top player and should energize whichever area of the field they influence. Running back, QB, O-line, even BPA will be better, stronger organization, hopefully ready and able to take on at least our division rivals. Shout out to the chat and go Raiders.
Hey, there you go, Martin. Good stuff there from all the emailers tonight. We appreciate all of those of you that have emailed the show and take time to email the show. And yeah, not only can you get be eligible for the Sizzler Award, which is the best email or phone call of the night, but also we have awards, our yearly awards, which will be coming up here in a couple of months. And there's some in there that are named after Paul, and there are named after one of the guys that's in the voicemails tonight even. Yeah, we got some OG voicemails to get to, and one of them that's not even on the rundown. I think Trinidad called in late, so we're gonna have one from Trinidad in there. But Swag Jeff, what's the chat room saying?
Let's see here. I'll tell you what they're saying. Let's see. I'll shout them out. Paul, Pitt in there, Vibrator in there. Building. Yeah. Let's see. Paul, Jay Morris from Salt City Silver and Black is in there. Yeah. What's good, Jay? Hooligan Nation, Jordan Ford, Raider Paul in there, Kelly Kreiner in there, T3 Sports Guy. There's T-Hom is in the building. Yeah.
We got a full house in there, huh?
We got a full house in there, man.
Very cool. Right on.
So much respect.
Right on. Well, we got a bunch of voicemails. We got a couple ones that actually came in late. So let's go ahead and get right to it. And let's kick it off with our buddy down in San Diego. He is Steve.
Hey, it's Steve from San Diego. How's it going, guys? I saw heard a couple weeks ago, you guys were talking about what if. And when I had thought about that what if with Bo Jackson also, but you were saying, some of the things, whatever. But anyway, there was he was on, or he was interviewing and stuff, like a couple things. And I heard that he was going to probably retire pretty soon afterwards. So even if he didn't get injured, he would have been out of the league pretty soon, according to him. Maybe family, I think it was, or something like that. I don't know what it was exactly. So he might not have been there much anyway. So the what if doesn't really matter about him. You can rest assured on that one. So you don't have to think, what if on that one. But I was thinking of what if. What if Al Davis actually cared and valued coaching? There was the Gruden thing, trading him out, when they got to the playoffs and all that stuff and the snow job game. But what if, when Jerry Jones let Jimmy Johnson go, hey, Jimmy, why don't you come on over here? And he lets them take the reign, and, where he says, if I'm going to cook the meal, I got to get the ingredients. So, let the coaches and value the coaching. What if, he valued that? What if we were able to get Sean McVay? Oh man. But you know what? I was thinking of a what if. Let's do a future what if. I know you guys are going to go poo-poo on my idea again, but what if somehow, because of Tom Brady and his influence and wanting to win and caring, somewhere in the future, maybe we could get Sean McVay. I don't know. I'm just saying. And what if, go with that, yes, Joe Burrow. Yeah, I'm saying it again because even Colin Cowherd said on a show that he wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow was asking out of that organization pretty soon, because they're not going to help him out one bit. And so anyway, there are some rumblings around there, but I'm just giving you what if. Let's speak it into existence. Let's try to make it happen somehow. I mean, Tom Brady cares about winning a lot. You know that. And so I just hope, the regime seems good, seems, good, solid. We'll see what happens with the draft, and I hope it goes well. And then until that draft, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Let's see how we go going forward. See ya. Bye.
Good job, Steve in San Diego. Yeah, none of that shit's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not.
But hey, man, do your thing, man. Love the speculation, and you did make a valid point around Al Davis. I don't think that it wasn't that Al doesn't. That's not a word. Al didn't value coaching. Clearly, he valued John Madden. Clearly, he valued Tom Flores. But if John Madden would have retired, eventually Madden probably would have found his way out. Tom Flores eventually found his way out. You know, people remember fondly Tom Flores' Raider career, but he was a Seattle Seahawk head coach too, and that didn't work out so hot because Al didn't want anybody to be bigger than the Shield. No one was going to be bigger than Al.
And that's the other part. No one's bigger than the Shield, but you can't be bigger than Al either.
And that's what Gruden was becoming. Right. And that's why he jettisoned him out. And when you read the Behind the Raiders Shield book, it's evident in that book. It will tell you explicitly that John was making power plays. And listen, and I don't begrudge John maybe a little bit for that because it's a little arrogant to think that you're going to outmaneuver Al Davis, but Al proved who was going to call the shots and who was the Raiders, and it's him. And so he jettisoned freaking John Gruden to Tampa and, you know, traded him and got some picks for him. And unfortunately, it cost us a Super Bowl. But that was never going to happen with anyone. There's a reason Hugh Jackson got jettisoned. You know what I mean? Like, because even though Al had passed, Hugh Jackson declared himself king of the Raiders. He said, we're going to do things different around here. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And he forgot to consult Mark Davis on that one. Well, guess what? Mark is his father's kid. You make fun of his haircut and where he eats and what he drives and all that shit. He's still a damn Davis. And he fired the hell out of Hugh Jackson.
See you, bye.
That's it, man. You're not going to be bigger than a Davis.
Nope.
And you certainly weren't going to be bigger than Al. So that's why that stuff. So I don't think Al didn't value it. I think he valued it as long as it was within line of what the pecking order was. You know. So anyways, that's just my opinion. Just like Steve said, it's just an opinion. That's all they are. All right. Next up, we're going to go down to Mexico City, buddy. We haven't heard from in a hot minute. This is Ernesto.
Nice.
Yes.
Hi guys, Murf, Flago, Michelle. Long time no see. We've been out from our show all this off season. We're planning on a show after the draft because we didn't want to get involved in all the rumors, all the heartbreaking news, or the uplifting news that were around this time. So we're just gonna make that show of El Camino Raider after the draft and then wait until the season starts. Mainly because I was heartbroken when the rumor of Matthew Stafford coming to the Raiders went down. I really wanted him, and for us, because we don't know college football, college players as insightful as you guys know them, we decided not to make any kind of analysis before that. That said, Geno Smith, for me, I paid the price of talking shit about him when he went to the Seattle Seahawks, and I made fun of my friends that are Seahawks fans, and he went to be a really solid QB. So I'm hoping that it works out for us, at least for a couple of seasons, but I'm dying to get a long-term QB. I don't know if it's going to happen in the draft. I don't know if we can let Gentry pass if he falls to the 6th pick. But if we don't get Gentry, I really want to pick a QB, and maybe we can hit the jackpot and have our QB for the next decade. I don't know. I just want to say hello, guys. Everything here in Mexico City is smooth. We're expectant of Thursday's draft, and we will be watching it live and streaming it in TikTok, in our TikTok account, El Camino Raider podcast. And I hope to see you guys soon. The Mexico game is going to be the Niners against someone, so the Raiders are not coming. That was that for me because I wanted to invite you guys here, but let's hope next year then. Have a great one, and let's go Raiders.
Go, Ernesto.
Great call.
Great call, as always. And man, I'd love to go see the Raiders in Mexico City.
That'd be so cool.
Badass.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so badass. Yeah, that's a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
That'd be so badass.
100%. So to one of his points that he said, and I've seen a lot of people. So how old is Geno Smith?
34.
Is he 34? Okay. I mean, I feel like because a lot of people think that this is going to be just like his 2-year contract and that's it. I could see this guy playing for the team for 5-6 years.
If he balls out.
If he balls out.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll
So, I
see
mean,
where-
there's definitely a possibility for him to not be maybe our franchise long-term decade-long quarterback. But, I mean, he could be here for a minute.
If he has a really good season and then follows it up with a good season, Michelle, I could see him getting an extension onto that contract for another couple of years or something.
Yeah, and then that gives the team time to develop somebody. Like, that's the dream.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
especially if we draft one of those developmental guys in the 3rd or 4th round this year.
Yeah. Yep.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Yep.
You think we're going to draft? You think we're going to trade Aiden O'Connell? That's another guy.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
If you can get something for him.
If we draft a guy in the 4th round or whatever, then yes, I think we will.
I think so too. Yeah. You still got
what kind of value does he have?
I don't know. He was what, a 4th round pick?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I doubt you get a 4th for him.
Probably not.
Probably a
5th or 6th round pick.
Yeah. At best. Yeah, I don't think there's not a lot. I don't think he's got a high upside in terms of value.
I don't think so.
But is there something to be gained on trading him? Sure, because I'm with you. If we have our starter, so if we're drafting a developmental guy, well, then you don't need him as your emergency quarterback. So whatever, even you get a 7th for him for crying out loud, you probably make the move. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting how this thing ends up. All right, next up, we're gonna go to Fresno and hear from our buddy Jacob.
Murf, Swaggo, Michelle, your boy Jay, St. Louis here.
Oh, sorry. That was Jacob
Draft
Fresno.
is upon us. Let's go. Finally ready to get this shit over with. I hate draft season. So much like anticipation and so much, oh, if they don't draft this guy, then they made the wrong choice.
Sounds like you, Michelle.
And we're wrong about people anyway. So it
Kindred
doesn't
spirits.
matter. So let's just get this shit over with.
Period.
That being said, it was WrestleMania weekend. And
Hell yeah, it
my
was.
boy, the GOAT, Dominic Mysterio, won his first single
Old
title
Dirty
on the main
Dom.
roster. And when I say that boy been losing for years, and it's been so hard to like cheer for him because he gets hate and blah blah blah. Bro, if I'm this hyped after a sports entertainment victory, I'm gonna be unfucking sufferable if the Raiders win the Super Bowl in my lifetime. Oh my God. That's all that told me. Because my wife said I was scaring my kids when he won because I was yelling so much and so happy. And yeah, I want that for the Raiders. And until I can see it, I'm gonna assume this team's gonna win like 7 games. Because keep your expectations low and the season will feel better. Can't wait for the show tomorrow night, guys. These 2 weeks have been long, but they're free, I guess. But this is Jay. I'm out.
There you go, Jay.
Good job, Jay in St. Louis.
I love you talking about WrestleMania. So speaking of Jay, me and my son's favorite wrestler is Jay Uso.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were yeeting all over the place. If you know, you know.
Yeah, you're.
I don't know. I was like, what?
Yeah. He go yeet, yeet. That's just his catchphrase.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like an action that he's doing.
okay.
Hey.
I was like, I don't know what kind of bond you're creating.
Did Devin ever watch wrestling? Did you watch that stuff when he was growing up? No. My boys did. I watched it because I watched it when I was a kid, of course.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
did too.
You did
was
watch-
a
you
big
watch it?
wrestling fan.
Yeah?
Yeah. When Hulk Hogan and way back I guess that was the 80s. I don't know.
Macho and
But
Piper
yeah,
and
had
all
the
that.
cartoon, and then I was
Yeah.
a real big fan when the NWO
Loved that
and
era.
I
Yeah.
fell off after that.
Okay.
I just fell off.
That was a killer. That was
Yeah.
that's my favorite era of
Yeah.
wrestling. Was that WCW
loved
run
it.
with
Yeah.
the NWO
Oh,
and
heck
Chris
yeah.
Jericho and all that. That was
Stone Cold. I love Stone Cold. Steve
and then
Austin.
that was the
Yeah.
Attitude Era, and then of course
Yeah.
Stone Cold, who was my all-time guy.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
Stone
that
Cold.
my kids have gotten into wrestling.
It's fun because you watch it through their eyes.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
little
it's
kids,
such
that
a
makes
freaking
sense.
blast.
Yeah. So for my boys, it was like John Cena, and it was like,
Randy Orton.
Orton was huge. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
That was one of their favorites growing up. And then Vinny liked Roman Reigns for a long time. And then now neither one of them watch it because they've kind of grown out of it too. One's 19, one's almost 22.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, no, wait, there's girls.
Well, now I'm married, so I'm back.
So when the women's match is on, Jeff's like, oh look, there's girls. Big Liv Morgan fan.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. No, we're big Rhea Ripley fans at our house.
Rhea Ripley's badass, dude.
She's a badass.
She kicks ass. Yeah, but I my favorite female wrestler right now is Charlotte.
Flair?
I love Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Swaggering boisterously, dude. Like she's badass, man.
That's not why you like her.
You're out of control. All right, who's next here? Let's see. We've got calling the 9-5. Shut up. Well, look at Michelle's over there going like, I have no idea what's going on over here. Charlotte Flair is Ric Flair's daughter.
I know who Ric Flair is, but I didn't even know he had a daughter.
It's styling and profiling.
There's a goat there too. All right, next up, let's go to, here, I got, what am I trying to say? Disclaimer on this one. I don't love GDs. I mean, we don't shy away from curse words around here anymore.
Okay. Not my favorite.
But not my favorite. Not my favorite. And there might be a couple. So if you're sensitive to that, then you may want to hit the mute button on this one. We got 2 from this guy. This is Big Raider Trucker, the guy that the Sizzler Award.
Big Raider Trucker.
The guy that the Sizzler Award is named after. Big Raider Trucker.
Wow.
Murf, Mosh, Sonny. I got a bone to pick with Jack Del Rio.
Not me.
What the fuck was he thinking having Derek Carr in there already up by that big
Is
of a
this
lead?
call from...
Motherfucker's gonna get his ankle broken, and now we're fucked. There goes our Super Bowl. Oh, shit. Goddamn. Murf, Michelle, Swaggy Jeff, what's up? Big Raider Trucker checking in. It's been too long, fellas and ladies. Hope all is well. We got the draft coming up. Nobody get their panties in a bunch when we go offensive line. You already know what's coming. All this ass and empty talk. Love and miss you guys. Hope all is well. I miss calling in. I've been behind the walls for far too long. Checking back in. Murph, my brother. Be talking soon. All right. Go Raiders.
Hey. There you go, Trucker.
It's been a minute. Jack Del Rio was our coach.
Wow. There you go.
And then he called back.
That's longer than a minute.
Murph, I'm fucking old. I don't know how to work this goddamn cell phone. It's been that fucking long since I called. I don't know if Google Voice still got me or if Google Voice is still a fucking thing. Anyways, you don't get good reception out here in the cells, brother. Want to talk about the offensive line. That's where we need to go. Ashton Genty is a Ferrari, and unfortunately, we're still a high school kid. We wouldn't know what to do with him. Let's get the trenches built up. I mean, last time we were successful, look at 2016. Look at that offensive line we had. Bunch of monsters. And you got to also factor in Pete's not into building this over time. He wants to win now. Remember, he's only got a 3-year deal, and I don't see him coaching past that. So let's see what happens. Again, like I said, love and miss you guys. Hope all is well. I'll be contributing a little bit more. Got a little bit more free time now. Got the kids. They're getting older. All right. That's it. Hopefully this fucking thing went through. All right. Have a good one.
Love it. A legendary caller here at Raiders Fan Radio. Give it up for Big Raider Trucker, man. Yeah, it's been far too long since we heard from him. And it got to the point where, for those of you that haven't been around the show for a long time, he was calling in every week and he was winning the Sizzler Award like 4 out of 5 weeks so finally we said, all right, you're not getting any more Sizzlers. We're just going to name this thing after you.
There you go.
So when we get, after we award the Sizzler and Jeff hits the button and you hear a voice say, I am the Sizzler. That's Big Raider Trucker, because it's the BRT Sizzler Award is what we call it. So there you go. There's our buddy BRT, and I look forward to hearing from him again soon. Keep them coming, man. We love and miss you too. All right, next up, speaking of OG guys, another guy that's been around this show for a hot minute. Let's check in with our buddy Trinidad.
What's up, Murf? This is Trinidad from California. Whatever we do, if Shador falls to the Raiders, let's take a quarterback, please. That's what I think, at least. I mean, a couple months ago or two, we were ready to give up everything for him, so let's just take him. We can always get Gentry or somebody like that, unless Gentry is the best available player. So that's what I think. Go Raiders. Bye.
There you go, Trent. As the great Jim Rome would say, get in, get out, have a take, and don't suck.
I like
There
it.
you go.
There you go. That's it, Trin, right there, man. And he makes a very valid point right there. How long ago was it that we were all going like, we need to trade up to get Shador?
Yeah.
And now the opinion is starting to now it's, oh, I wouldn't be mad if we traded back. Like, it's crazy how things change. But that change in defense of that previous position, we didn't have Geno Smith.
True.
That's true.
True.
So without Geno Smith on the roster, I'm banging the table still, going like, whatever we got to do, let's make sure we get Sanders. But now we got the luxury of options.
Yeah.
Which
I just said about 30 minutes ago, maybe we could trade up to get Genty.
Yeah. Like, wow.
What a change of narrative.
Right? 100%. 100%. So good stuff there from Trinidad. All right, we got one more to go. Oh, look, it's Steven San Diego. He called back.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we're going to start calling this the Steven San Diego fans radio, or CFC. I'll spit it out.
Sea of Steve?
There you go. Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, it's Steve from San Diego. What's going on, guys? Wow, here we are, Jack time. What will it be? Genty? Haha, get that? Anyway, hey, there's a couple weeks ago you were doing this what if thing. One thing, real quick thing.
Yeah, we already did that.
I was thinking about the what if with Bo Jackson, but actually I saw Bo Jackson or heard him on interview.
Yeah, that's the same voice.
He's probably going to retire pretty soon anyway. So
No,
even if he didn't
it's a
get
different
hurt, he
one.
would've
He just saying the same
devalued
stuff.
coaching, and we got had really good coaching, because I'm telling you, that's see what happens. I don't know. We'll talk to you later. Not see ya. Bye. All right. Bye. Yay.
Maybe he didn't think that call was going to go through.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe because we were off for so long.
Okay.
And so, good stuff there. All right. But no, we got it twice.
We got it twice.
We got it. And so appreciate that tells you right there, how much do I screen calls anymore? Right? Because I used to go through and listen to all these and edit them and bleep and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, hey, y'all are going to say what you're going to say, and we're going to love to hear it.
Do what you do.
We're not going to censor things because people talk how they talk. And so if you don't like it, then, listen to something. Listen, sorry, not sorry. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
sorry.
All right, so we award a Sizzler Award, as we have mentioned many, many times now already on the show. That goes out to the best emailer or phone caller of the night. And so, Swag Jeff, that is your responsibility to name the Sizzler. And so, who do we got tonight?
Absolutely. Well, we had some amazing emails and voicemails tonight. We started the night with a pair of Mangai, Matthew and Daniel Mangus on the emails.
Oh, nice.
Hooligan Nation, Paul and Martin on the emails. And then on the voicemails, we had a pair of Steven San Diego voicemails sandwiching between Ernesto, Jay in St. Louis, Big Raider Trucker, and Trinidad. And since Big Raider Trucker is ineligible for his own Sizzler Award tonight's Sizzler Award goes to Jay in St. Louis.
Hey, good job, Jay.
Good job, Jay.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Genty.
Ashton Genty.
Please.
Oh my gosh. All right, this was fun.
This was fun.
This was a fun show. This is a fun show. Our first annual Draft for Dummies show.
I like that.
And I missed you guys. It was like a few weeks.
It really was.
a long time.
We don't take 2 weeks off very often.
Not often.
Yeah, not often. But it's good though, because it recharges the batteries a little bit, allows us to kind of focus on some other things, and then you know what I mean? We'll get back out there, and we'll do another one. We'll do another break. Like we'll do one more, because when it gets to the dead time, like after the we'll do it like after the fannies. After we get done with our annual award show, we'll do the fannies, and then we'll take, because that's in July.
That's in July.
And then we'll come back like right before training camp or as training camp is starting. That kind of a thing. So we'll do one more break. But then outside of that, for anybody that's new to the show, and we get new listeners all the time, outside of that, every Wednesday night, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, you can find us right here at Raiders Fan Radio. And not just us, but the absolute best chat room there is. And we'll have some other folks coming in too. We're going to get QB Jeff in here, especially, hey, if we draft Ashton Genty, QB Jeff's ass is going to be parked in that chair. He's going to be there to come on. Michelle's daughter, Libby, joins us sometimes. And of course, when we have, Scott, when he's in town, will come on. So again, if you're new to the show, it's not only the three of us.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have.
And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other. It's not only the three of us, but we'll have a guest in occasionally. And so appreciate you guys. And also, too, if you are new to the show, if you can't tell, we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we definitely take our Raiders fandom seriously, and we'll just bleed silver and black and support this team to no end, sometimes at a fault. The amount that we love this football team. So we appreciate you very, very much. Thanks to all the super chats. Thank you to the members in there. Thank you to all of the support you give Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation. We love you guys, and we will see you. I'll see you tomorrow night on Silver and Black today.
Yeah, you will.
We'll simulcast it here, and then we will be back next week. Yeah? We got to talk about the draft.
We got to talk about it.
We'll be back next Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you became a member today and you have not received the RFR print that I do, send your email show at fucking shit. I do that every time.
Send your address.
Send your address to show at Raiders Fan Radio.
Nice.
Jeez.
Nice. Thanks to everyone for being here in the building tonight. The best chat room in all of Raider Nation. Jordan Ford, congrats on your sizzler, my friend. He said that's 10 sizzlers that he's got. It was his 10th one. It's a milestone.
Bro. Congratulations.
Milestone, yeah. So congrats to you, SoCal Sal, Elon Bush, Paul, Yoshi in the building, Tony Shefford, Tony Collins, pair of Tonys there, Ron the Mater Raider, Rossi Biddle, let's see, Raider-Roo in there.
What's up, Roo?
Yeah, good to see Raider-Roo in there. I'm sure he's a big, he wants Paul Gunther as our next coach.
Oh my gosh, of course he does.
SoCal Sal Vibe Raider in the building. Thank you guys. Can't thank you guys enough for being here. What a fun show. Glad to be back, and we'll be back next week, like you said, to talk about our future Raiders.
Oh my gosh. We're going to know who they are.
I know, and I can't wait, man. Can't wait. It's a good time. Hey, go watch Draft Day tonight or tomorrow. One of my favorite movies. Go watch it. Prepare yourself for the draft.
Word.
So on behalf of Michelle, on behalf of Murf, my name's Swag Jeff. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
You're darn right it did.
See you. Bye.
Bye.